All right, so this video is the 3 reasons why I absolutely hate quitclaim deeds. My name is Courtney Richardson. I'm the founder of the IB Investor. So the first thing I want to talk about before we even get into quitclaim deeds is what exactly is a deed? A deed is a document that transfers ownership from a seller to a buyer. Very simple. It's probably part of the oldest bit of law that exists. When I was doing and just by way of background, I was an oil and gas attorney. So I used to look at deeds that went back um, at least as far as 1865, sometimes a little bit further. It just depends on whatever was going on with that tract of land. So I've pretty much seen not I can't say I've seen everything. I've seen a lot in the world of deeds, and I've noticed that a lot of investors or real estate investors have started to really go after and be excited over a quitclaim deed. And they just because, and I tell people this all the time, you have to understand the rules of the game and you have to play them better than anyone else. But because y'all don't understand that, a lot of people don't understand the rules, they are getting the bottom barrel of deed and expecting it to do something that they need it to do. Because when you're actually engaging in real estate transactions, you need these deeds because especially if you're flipping. If you're flipping a property, you're going to want at some time, you want to, if you're going to get what you really want to a buyer to purchase it from you, they're probably going to have to get a mortgage. And once the mortgage company sees a quitclaim deed, they're going to want you to do what we call curative work because they're like, oh, we don't want to insure this. And I'll tell you why anyway. So let's talk about it. So there's basically 3 types of warranties that you can get on a deed. You have a general warranty, you have a special warranty, and then you have no warranty, which is a quitclaim deed. So with a general warranty deed, and I tell people all the time, read your deeds. I've seen so many mistakes in deeds ranging from an incorrect property address, the incorrect property description, incorrect meets and bounds, which is basically the plot of the land. If you were to plot it out by hand, like kind of what the shape of it is. I've seen so many things that are just wrong. And had the person just read the deed, they would be like, well, this doesn't make any sense. And they would have been able at the time of the transaction to get it fixed. But if you have to get to the point where there's another transaction or there's something else going on with the property and you're trying to fix an issue, if you've had that go on, you know how painful and costly it can be in terms of actual cost out of pocket, but costly in terms of time. I know a lot of people who have lost buyers because a deal took too long because they were doing curative work. So I just share that with people to let them know that this is something that's really important. But anyway, so general warranty deeds have in the language warrant and defend. The seller will warrant and defend any claims against the property. So they're warranting that they have the right to convey the property, that they're the actual owner. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that they're also warranting that the property is free of all liens and encumbrances. That's what it is. And then also they're going to defend if there's any claims. They're basically going to protect you from any third parties that are making claims against the property. And they'll also, they'll protect and defend. So they'll basically say, hey, you don't have time. But if it has to go to court, then they're actually going to come in and protect your title. So that's what you want. Okay. You're telling me, and this is from the beginning of time. So they're saying anytime, beginning of the time since I've had it backwards, and what we call probably to the patent. And the patent is basically when the King of England, at least the United States, conveyed the property to somebody, the first person to get it. That's what we call the patent. So it says, King so-and-so to, John Smith and Ux. And Ux is actually Uxor, which is a wife. So John and his wife. So anyway, so I give you that to say a special warranty deed is like a step down. So you have a general warranty deed, like we warrant this forever. And then a special warranty deed is like, well, not forever, but at least as long as I've had it. So here. And then you have the quitclaim deed. It's like, listen, I'll make any guarantees. So I don't know if anybody remembers Chico DeBarros. He's like, nah, no guarantees. That's exactly what a quitclaim deed is. Nah, no guarantees. So you really have, and what you really want when you're selling real estate and when you own real estate, is you want good and marketable title. A quitclaim deed does not give you that. So you're going to, if you're looking to do a flip, or you're looking to sell the property at some point later, you're going to have to fix that. It's going to be costly. So that's the first thing. No guarantees, bottom barrel deeds. And oftentimes I've noticed that quitclaim deeds are used out of context. So what I would do when I would run title and I would actually do curative work, we would actually do curative work with quitclaim deeds if we had someone might have had an interest in a property at some point in the past. Basically, to clean up the title, we will do a quitclaim deed. So again, it's the bottom barrel, but as a curative, it usually works when we're doing what we call title curative work, which is title fixing. We have to fix the title. So we'll usually do a quitclaim deed to kind of clean up stuff. But again, it's being used like as a part of an everyday transaction. And that's not what this is meant for. But here's my problem. A lot of people who are out in this real estate game, I commend you. I applaud you. I'm not a really big real estate fan generally, but I am a real estate attorney. In terms of investments, I love stock market. Stock market's my thing, but I do real estate. I do understand it. I've done a lot of real estate work. I've been doing real estate in some sort of fashion since I started being an attorney. And so I want to give you that context. But again, that's bottom barrel deed, used out of context usually. And then finally, it really causes more problems than it's worth. I think I covered them. Anything that can happen with a quitclaim deed. So for example, I think this is a really good example. So I was working with an estate, and apparently the father, before the father passed away, and it was like 3 years before the father passed away, so a decent amount of time, the father conveys to the property to the son via quitclaim deed. The title, so the son is attempting to sell the property sometime after the father's death, and the title company was like, oh no, we're not accepting this deed. We don't think this deed is valid. You're going to actually have to open the estate and convey the property from the estate to this buyer for us to ensure the title. Do you know how much time and energy that took? So I think that's a great example. And it's not the first time I've heard it, but I think that's the one that I have kind of most recently in my mind. But again, that's why I hate these things. And what I've noticed is that everybody's gotten into the real estate game and they're like, yeah, I got it. But you got to do some work and some background to really understand what you're doing, to know what you're getting, what you're not getting, and what potential problems it can cause. So like I said, 3 reasons why I absolutely hate quitclaim deeds is that it's the bottom barrel deed. It's actually used out of context, and it actually causes more problems than it's worth. Have a good one.